Hi everyone, my name is Manveer Sidhu. Today I'm going to present a presentation on the topic of carbon nanotube field effect transistor, also known as CNFET. Here is the outline of the topics that I'm going to cover today in my presentation. First of all, we're going to look at the introduction. Then we're going to look what are carbon nanotubes. Then the working principle of carbon nanotube field effect transistor, types of CNT-FETs, the factors that affects the performance of CNT-FETs. Then we're going to compare the CNT-FET with the MOSFET. And then we're going to look at the future of the CNT-FET. What does the future hold for the CNT-FET? And in the end, I will provide a list of the references that I used to make my presentation. Let's start with the introduction. In today's world, the speed of every electronic device is increasing, for which the size of transistors which are embedded on the integrated circuits that are present in every electronic device is getting reduced. The current state of art is like 7 nanometer for this transistor size. Silicon is most widely used material in building these transistors on the chip. But with the reduction of size of these transistors, these silicon transistors start facing various problems like lower threshold voltage, higher gate current leakage, and lower channel mobility. The properties of carbon nanotube like high drive current, large transconductance, high temperature resilience, and strong covalent bond makes it as a suitable candidate to replace silicon as a material for building these transistors. So what are these carbon nanotubes? The carbon nanotubes were first discovered in Japan in 1991. These carbon nanotubes can be considered as the rolled up sheets of graphene as shown in this figure. There are different type of structures of carbon nanotubes like zigzag, armchair, and chirality. The working principle of carbon nanotube field effect transistor. The basic principle of operation of the CNT-FET is same as MOSFET, where a channel is formed between the source and drain and is responsible for the movement of carriers from source to drain. The gate terminal is responsible for the formation of this channel between the source and drain. If the voltage applied at the gate is more than the threshold voltage of the FET, then a channel will be formed between the source and drain. If it is not, then we will not be able to form a channel between the source and drain. The one of the difference between the MOSFET and the CNT-FET is that a channel is made up of carbon nanotube in the CNT-FET. Let's look at the types of CNT-FETs. CNT-FET can be classified into two categories based on its geometry and based on its operation. While based on its geometry, it can be subclassified into three categories: the bottom gate, the top gate, and the wraparound gate. While based on its operation, it can be subclassified into two categories: the Schottky barrier and the MOSFET like CNT-FET. First, look at the bottom gate CNT-FET. The bottom gate CNT-FET was first of the CNT-FET that was constructed. These are simple devices fabricated by depositing a single wall of CNT. As we can see in this figure, a CNT is grown up on a silicon oxide substrate and is responsible for the connection between the source and drain. It acts as a channel between source and drain and is responsible for the movement of the carriers from source to drain. This carbon nanotube is deposited by the process of laser ablation. Here are some of the drawbacks of this bottom gate CNT-FET. First of all, it was observed that it offers lower transconductance as compared to the other CNT-FETs that were fabricated after this bottom gate CNT-FET. It reduces the bandwidth of the lower transconductance reduces the bandwidth of the operation of any type of op amp, which is made up of this CNTFET, the bottom gate one. It requires high gate voltage to turn these bottom gate CNTFETs since their threshold voltage is large and it has no current saturation. The next type of CNTFET that came up was the top gate CNTFET. This type of CNTFET generally come up to overcome the limitations of the bottom gate CNTFET. In this, a thin top gate dielectric is deposited on the top of a nanotube either by the process of evaporation or atomic layer deposition. As we can see in this figure, a gate dielectric is laid up on the carbon nanotube that is connecting the source to the drain. And finally, the top gate contact is deposited on this gate dielectric. This type of structure is difficult to fabricate as compared to the bottom gate one, but there were certain advantages that this type of structure offer over the bottom gate CNTFET. So let's look at the advantages of the top gate CNTFET. It was observed that arrays of top gate CNTFET can be fabricated on the same wafer since the gate contacts are electrically isolated from each other. So it was observed that we can grow a number of CNTFETs on a single piece of wafer because these FETs, the top gate one, are electrically isolated from each other. So there is no interference between two or more top gate CNTFETs if they are fabricated close together, which was not possible in the case of the back gate case. While other advantage was that the low gate voltage is required to start its operation as compared to the back gate one, as large electric field can be created in the channel of this top gate CNTFET at lower voltage as their threshold voltage is less as compared to the back gate one. The another type of CNTFET that came up under the geometry classification is wraparound CNTFET. In this type of structure, the gating of the entire circumference of the tube is done. As we can see, a cylindrical gate is drawn and then etched from the ends where the drain and source are attached. The clever engineers came up with the idea of the changing the shape of the gate as it offers certain advantages that was not possible in the earlier versions that we covered so far. So, what are the advantages of using this wraparound CNTFET? First of all, it was observed that it reduces the leakage current in the device, which is possible due to the geometry of the gate that we are using in this wraparound CNTFET. It also improves the device on-off ratio due to the reduction in leakage current. So we can see if we are able to reduce the leakage current, it offers certain advantages in the for the performance of the CNTFET. It also provides more electrostatic control over the channel. The Schottky barrier CNTFET. This is the first type of CNTFET that came under the category of operation classification. The Schottky barrier CNTFET works on the principle of track tunneling through the Schottky barrier at the source channel junction. In this, the barrier width is controlled by the gate voltage. So there is a barrier between the source and drain, which is controlled by the gate voltage. If this gate voltage is increased, the barrier that is separating the source to drain will get reduced, and more carriers will be able to move from source to drain, which is possible due to the process of quantum mechanical tunneling, and which ultimately increases the current flow in the transistor channel. What were the limitations of this Schottky barrier CNTFET? The energy barrier of Schottky barrier limits the transconductance of the CNTFET in the on state, which ultimately decreases the drain current and led to the decrease in the speed of the Schottky barrier CNT-FET. So we cannot use this Schottky barrier CNT-FET in the high speed operations. The Schottky barrier CNT-FET have strong and bipolar attributes that limits the usage of this device in the conventional CMOS architectures. The next type of CNT-FET that came up was MOSFET like CNT-FET. The structure of this device is slightly different from the Schottky barrier CNT-FET that we covered in the previous slides, since it uses the heavily doped terminals for the source and drain instead of metal. As we can see in the figure, heavily doped terminals are used for the source and drain, while in the Schottky barrier CNT-FET, there the source and drain is made up of metal contacts. This device operates on the principle of modulation. As more gate voltage is applied, the barrier height will decrease. As we apply more gate voltage, the barrier that is separating the source to drain will get reduced and more carriers will be able to move from source to drain. What were the advantages of this MOSFET like carbon nanotube field effect transistor? First one was that its source drain channel has no Schottky barrier. As a result, it has considerably higher on current and makes it a very suitable candidate for using in ultra high speed performance applications. The second one is it is more suitable to use this type of CNFET in CMOS technology for building complex circuits like op-amps, inverter, etc. As its properties resembles more with the conventional type of MOSFET. Now let's look at the factors that influence the performance of CNT-FETs. There are two most important factors that affect the operation of CNT-FET, which include dielectric and passivation. First, look at the dielectric. Using the high dielectric material in the construction of the FETs can provide efficient charge injection to the channel. It provides high gate capacitance, which causes the faster switching of the CNFETs during the operation. Passivation. Passivation is the process that is used to cover up the packaged integrated circuits, especially if they are made up of carbon nanotubes. There are some specific reasons that we use passivation for the carbon nanotube field effect transistor. First of one is that is very sensitive to the contaminants, and so which is a very big drawback if we for the high performance digital applications. If we are using these type of CND FETs for a high performance digital application, a little addition of contaminants can affect its performance very badly. So it is very necessary to passivate it and reduce and try to control the external environmental conditions to affect the performance of CNT-FET. Due to these contaminants, there is a shift in the threshold voltage among CNT-FETs, which is a very big limitation. So it is very necessary to passivate the CNT-FETs. Now let's compare the MOSFET with CNT-FET and see what type of advantages the CNT-FET offers over the MOSFET. The MOSFET has lower channel mobility as we reduce its channel length, while CNT offers higher channel mobility even if we reduce its channel length. The MOSFET has higher threshold voltage, while CNT has lower threshold voltage, which causes faster switching and lower power dissipation. In MOSFET, there is more leakage of power as we reduce its channel length, while in CNTFD there is negligible leakage of power as we reduce the channel length. So we can look through the comparison that CNT offers certain advantages over the MOSFET when the scaling of the FETs are done and the size gets reduced. So what does the future hold for the CNT FETs? The first of the CNT FET was developed and tested in one of the laboratories at MIT by the researcher and scientist on June 1, 2020. It shows that CNT FET can be fabricated at fabs and offers certain advantages like 3D structure of transistor. Most of the transistors that are built today are 2D. Another advantages of using this CNT-FET is that it reduces the cost of production and also increases the speed of fabrication of the transistors. But we still have to wait to see how these carbon nanotubes will be used in fabs, as as it is hard to handle these carbon nanotubes in atmospheric conditions. So scientists and researchers are still working on it, and we have still have to wait to see how it will come into the play uh, when they are uh, brought into the fabs. Here are the list of the references that I used to make this presentation. Hope you like this presentation. Thank you.